And hi, everyone. I'm Megan from the AI product marketing team here at Zendesk. First, I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. The fact that you chose to join this session today shows me that it will be no surprise to you when I say that AI is revolutionizing CX. Its impact is clear in the growing customer demand for rapid, personalized service, and this significantly influences things like brand loyalty and purchase decisions. Recognizing this shift, we know that 64% of businesses plan to increase their AI investments to transform their bots into next generation AI agents. This strategic move aligns with the prediction that we shared at Zendesk Relate back in April, that 80% of customer interactions will soon be automated. And we're here to help you navigate this dramatic shift in the way service is delivered so that you can ensure personalization at scale without draining your resources. So, here at Zendesk, we are on the same page as our customers. Our mission is to deliver exceptional service to every person on the planet. That's why Zendesk AI empowers you to improve productivity and efficiency across your service teams while still connecting more authentically with your customers. It's carefully crafted to guide you through your AI-powered CX journey, and this is a journey that we see as consisting of three main steps. First is automating your customer experiences to ensure fast, accurate, and personalized customer interactions that reduce the burden on your service teams. This is what we'll really focus in on today. But for when your customers need a more human touch, Zendesk AI helps you assist your human agents with proactive context and suggestions to help you reduce those resolution times. And Zendesk AI also helps you optimize your workflows with tools that help you identify issues and then improve on them so you can streamline and scale your processes while reducing costs. And this journey starts with your customers and creating exceptional customer experiences for them, which is precisely what you can do with AI agents. At Relate this year, if we head to the next slide, thank you. We introduced AI agents, the next generation of AI-powered bots. They are designed to autonomously interact with your customers, understand and react to their needs, and provide full resolutions no matter how complex their issues. It is so much more than the simple deflection you're used to from your bots. And all of this is made possible through the latest breakthroughs in AI technology and our recent acquisition of Ultimate. Ultimate, on our next slide, is a leading provider of service automation. By integrating their cutting-edge technology, our AI agents are now made even more powerful. By bringing Ultimate's technology to Zendesk, we are setting a new standard for what AI agents can achieve in customer experience. This gives you more customization and sophistication, more personalized interactions, and higher automation rates. This is a really significant step forward in our mission to personalize every interaction and empower your teams to focus on what truly matters. So that's a very quick intro to AI agents. So let's get into talking about why we're all here today. What exactly does the power of AI agents mean for you and your business? It means that you can solve even the most sophisticated customer issues in seconds. Between providing generative responses to frequently asked questions and effortlessly building no-code flows for those more complex queries, no question goes unanswered. But this scale never comes at the sacrifice of the personalization that we know enhances the customer experience. AI agents empower you to delight your customers and enhance your CSAT with personalized and proactive support. And of course, you can continuously optimize your AI agent's performance. With detailed insights, it is easier than ever to know what to automate and identify areas of improvement so that your path to success is always clear. Now, let's dive deeper into the world-class capabilities of AI agents. We find that for most businesses, automation is a journey that can lead you to 80% automation rates. So let's start off by walking through a framework of what your path to automation could look like. Starting off, in just minutes, you can get started with generative AI. By connecting your knowledge base to your AI agent, you can start automating frequently asked questions and instantly reach automation rates of 10% plus right out of the box. Next, you might want to add more control and customization to certain interactions with what we call a hybrid approach. By building out conversation flows that guide customers toward a resolution, you can answer more sophisticated queries and set the right guardrails. This helps you achieve 20% automation. Now, here's where our customers really start to see how powerful automation can be. Next, it's time to unlock end-to-end automation. You can do this by connecting to back-end systems using APIs that push, pull, and parse data for your AI agent's response, reaching 40% automation now. From there, our analytics suite provides you with the insights that you need to fine-tune those conversation flows and optimize your support processes. This helps you keep improving and growing your value further to reach 60% automation. And finally, with AI now at the heart of your CX processes, your teams are now masters of automation. Designing expertly around your customers, you can expand to new use cases, channels, languages, and markets to reach beyond 80% automation rates. Now, it's of course worth mentioning that the ideal level of automation varies with each business because the definition of success is different for every business. Some might require less automation and emphasize that more human touch, while some might aspire to reach this 80% plus and beyond automation. The good news is that AI agents are flexible enough to accommodate both. You design your own path on the road to 80 according to what your business needs. Now, we want to hear from you once again. Using this framework, please drop in the chat what level of automation you're at today, and then maybe even where you plan to be at this time next year. And if you're not sure, no worries. We're about to dive further into each of these stops on the road to 80. So we know that your automation journey starts with generative replies. By turning them on, you can immediately start automating responses to your customers' FAQs. With generative replies, AI agents use knowledge from your existing help center to quickly craft accurate conversational responses. And this might be for customer questions like, what's your refund policy? What stores are your products sold in? Or the never-ending, how do I reset my password? But we know questions aren't always that clear. And that's why AI agents can ask clarifying questions to make sure they truly understand what the customer is asking before they answer. All of this is available out of the box, requiring no training or maintenance. And it works strictly within the guardrails of your knowledge base so that your AI agent pulls information from your articles, but nowhere else, reducing hallucinations and inaccurate information. My personal favorite tip here is that to give your customers the best responses, it's really important to optimize your knowledge base content. Our generative AI tools for knowledge base make it really easy to build out a smart, robust knowledge base. In fact, in just a few clicks, you can turn a few brief bullet points into a fully fleshed out article. And to make sure your AI agent can easily find and share the right information from that content you create, we're dropping in the chat a link to a Zendesk Help Center article that shares some cool tips and tricks to help you optimize your knowledge base for generative responses. This is personally one of my favorite Help Center articles. I think it gives a really clear path. Generative replies instantly enhance your customer experience and bring you to 10% automation rates. So now you're set up to start answering frequently asked questions automatically. So let's turn our attention to tailoring the delivery of those answers. So they're not just in a generic tone, but rather let's make sure your AI agents are a direct reflection of your brand. AI agent personas allow you to set a friendly, formal, or playful tone for your AI agent responses. You might notice that these really closely resemble the personas that your agents can adopt using tone shift tools, or that your knowledge-based authors can use when crafting articles. And to really connect with your customers and let your brand's personality shine, you can give your AI agent the green light to use some approved emojis in their responses. There's nothing like the coffee emoji for a coffee shop or the rock on emoji for an electric guitar company. You can get really, really creative here, and I know you all have. So please take a second to share in the chat which emoji you use for your business or that you might be feeling inspired to start using after this session. These tools ensure your responses remain consistent across channels and even across your global teams so that you can delight every customer with conversational on-brand support. Like everything we do, it is really simple. You set it up once, you deploy it everywhere, no need to review every response. So once you've deployed generative AI, you can expand your automation to more use cases with conversation flows. These are perfect for tackling those more complex or sensitive issues by guiding your customers to share information, take action, and ultimately reach a resolution. An example of this in use might be a fintech company who handles sensitive queries like identity theft. The AI agent could use generative AI to provide some accurate information on the topic, but for such sensitive topics, customers might appreciate more support and guidance. In these cases, you can adjust your AI agent's response to offer that extra level of care. Or another great place to get started might be offering different experiences for customers based on their status. Maybe you want to provide VIP customers with a special discount code, or maybe even elevate them to a human agent faster. To do this, you can easily use branch by conditions and authentication status to provide those tailored experiences. And with a no-code drag and drop conversation builder, it is easy to scale automation without the added costs. So now you've implemented what we call the hybrid approach, combining the power of generative AI with the control and customization of conversation flows. At this point, you can expect to start seeing upwards of 20% automation. Now, what makes AI agents undeniably more sophisticated than traditional bots is their ability to automate conversations end to end. This is possible by connecting your AI agents to external or internal systems, allowing them to speak to your entire tech stack. This informs intelligent, contextual responses, and it includes third-party systems like your order management system, your customer relationship management software, or even your shipping providers. And what does this look like in practice? Common use cases we've seen our customers use APIs and integrations to resolve include things like carrying out a full return or exchange, updating passwords, or getting recommendations on similar items they can buy. There are so many different use cases beyond just these few examples. We'd love to hear from you what use cases you've already automated with AI agents or what you plan to automate in the future. Drop those in the chat and I'm sure you will inspire some others that have joined us here today too. No matter the use case, every interaction is set up to delight your customers with contextual, personalized support by pushing, pulling, and overwriting data from your systems. We've seen customers like you fully resolve these repetitive processes without the need for human agents. But it is worth mentioning that if a human agent is required for those more sensitive topics, your AI agent can seamlessly collect customer information and then transfer that conversation to a live agent. With backend integrations, you can expect to easily hit 40% automation goals. So once you've set up your generative responses, given your AI agents that on-brand persona, and created those more complex end-to-end flows, now what's next? Zendesk AI gives you tools to keep optimizing your AI agent's performance. With out-of-the-box reporting, your admins will know exactly what they need to do to expand their automation coverage. It's really easy to measure and report on key metrics like automated resolutions, agent transfer rate, containment rate, and channel performance. And you can also monitor conversations that weren't fully resolved by your AI agent so that you can understand what conversation flows need updating next. Having actionable insights at your fingertips means that you can eliminate uncertainty when it comes to improving key metrics, and your path to success is always clear, bringing you now to 60% automation. And finally, it is time to look even further to expand the reach of your AI agents. Now that you've set up a conversational, human-like AI agent, and you have a clear path to continuously improving it, you can now shift your focus to things like discovering new or innovative use cases for your AI agent, adapting outdated processes. You can scale your global support with new languages or expand your supported channels so that you're always meeting your customers where they are. And now you'll start seeing beyond 60, 70, even 80% automation rates, scaling your support and unlocking this nearly limitless growth. And this is just the beginning for AI agents. Because you've partnered with Zendesk, you can rest assured that we will keep bringing you new tools and capabilities that help you keep innovating and staying ahead of the market. We keep improving so that you can too. And on top of everything we do, Zendesk AI is designed to build trust for your customers and for your business. We set an extremely high bar for accuracy for our AI agents. All AI generated responses are pulled directly from your own sources, ensuring accuracy and reducing hallucinations every step of the way. And we make it easy to control those more complex or sensitive conversations so that your customers always receive the support that they need. Now, get excited because we will be diving into a demo next. But first, let's take a look at how a few Zendesk customers have transformed their CX using the best practices we just covered. First, there's Motel Rocks, who slashed their ticket volume by 50% and improved their automated resolution rate 3 times using AI agents and other Zendesk self-service tools. There's also a Core Plus who saw their response time improve by a staggering 352% after introducing AI agents. And then there's Unity. Their use of AI agents helped them to reduce ticket volume in a way that has saved them $1.3 million. So clearly, Zendesk customers have found some major success leveraging AI agents, slashing costs while delighting customers with this personalized support at scale. Personally, I know that I can't wait to see what everybody here accomplishes next. Now I'm going to hand things over to our solutions consultant, Zach Wormick, and he's going to lead our live demo so you can see everything we just chatted about in practice. Over to you, Zach.
Everyone, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Zach Wormick. I'm a solutions consultant here at Zendesk. And goal of today's conversation is to give you all a really good idea of how native AI agents operate and what capabilities at a high level you can take advantage of today. So a use case that we have mocked up for you all is a customer of a B2C food delivery service called Zen Eats. This customer has just placed an order for food and they're on their way home. They're actually unsure if they're going to be home in time to actually receive that order. So the issue is they actually need to check for modification and reschedule options in the event that the order will be delivered at a time where they won't be home yet to receive it. Okay. So where we are starting is in the seat of the customer. We're sitting on the help center and the knowledge base of Zen Eats. And one of the first things that our customer sees is the AI agent here at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, immediately reaching out to see if they need an assistance. So they opt to go ahead and open the Zendesk messaging widget. And immediately you can see the AI agent saying, hey there, if you have a question, I'm here to assist you. We also have an option to get in touch with a live human if we choose to do so. For our purposes today, we just want to quickly get an answer and move along with our day. So the customer is going to go ahead and type in how to reschedule a delivery to a later time. Based off that information, what you're seeing the AI agent do next is actually clarifying with the customer by actually tapping into the intent model to better understand the customer's needs. So a little bit about how Zendesk approaches AI agents. You do have the ability to drill down into specifics of what a customer is looking to accomplish due to that industry-specific intent model that they're armed with. And the value is AI agents, they're unique to your business. You don't need to manually train these bots or these AI agents on how to respond to your customers' most common questions. So all these different clarification phrases are AI generated and pre-trained and ready to go right when you start using Zendesk AI agents. We're going to go ahead and say change or specify delivery date for our purposes today. And what you'll notice happens is the AI agent quickly jumps into gear and responds to the customer's question based off that clarification. So the AI agent says, you can reschedule your delivery time as long as your order hasn't entered into the preparation stage. And it also gives us some steps on how to actually check our order status to verify that. So what you just saw was an example of a generative reply. It's using Gen AI, and it's using the repository of knowledge in your help center, your knowledge base, to directly address the customer's specific question. And the value of that, it's improving customer experience. Customers can quickly understand answers to questions in a very conversational experience with minimal effort within their preferred experience. All right. Now that the customer has the right information about if their order is going to qualify, they need to go and say, what's the actual status of my order, and is it going to fit that mold? So the customer is going to go ahead and type in, what is the status? Oh, we're going to quickly say, yes, that was helpful. And then I know the AI agent gave us some steps on how to check the order status, but I want to go see if the AI agent can actually just help me with this. So I'm going to go ahead and type in, what's the status of my delivery? What you are now seeing before we kind of go down this flow is the AI agent is actually realizing the intent of what the customer's question is. And what it's doing, it's triggering an answer flow that's really unique to Zen Eats' business processes to best meet customer needs. So the first step in this is authenticating the correct order information on behalf of the customer. And what that is going to do is going to reduce the need to interact or be transferred to a live agent. So we're going to say, yes, we have our email associated with the order that I just made. And let's go ahead and type that in. So again, this is going to authenticate the order information. And let's go ahead and see what the AI agent actually comes back with. Okay, perfect. So what the AI agent has now done, it retrieves the order information on behalf of the customer. And it's using an API or a data dip step in the flow to retrieve information from a third-party system, in this case, an order management solution, and bring it into that same messaging experience. So you guys have, the capability of bringing third-party data or information into the Zendesk AI agent experience here, and this is a quick example of that. What the customer is now going to do, they can quickly look at this intuitive order management selection that the AI agent has presented them with, and they're going to go ahead and look at some of the details and select the item in the order that they're referring to. Looks like the delivery time is going to be this evening, and the status is still in the received status. So that's great. So the AI agent lets them know that they can make applicable changes if needed, all from the same conversation experience. The customer is also really glad to see they won't need to make adjustments to their order, as they'll be home in time to receive it, but they can make adjustments if need be. So again, the value of what we just saw here as well is it allows businesses to focus on more complex queries and prioritization, and also reduces load and ticket volume while providing a better experience at scale to your customer base. And to round this all off, we'll go ahead and say, no problem solved. And our AI agent, Chewbacca, he's going to say, great, ask me another question at any time. All right, appreciate that, team. Back to you, Brett.
Thanks, Zach. Hi, everyone. I'm Ridhima, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can apply AI agents in your industry. Now that you've already seen how easy it is to get started with AI agents and how you can enhance your CX overall, while resolving a majority of your requests autonomously, I want to spend some time giving you some inspiration of common use cases that we have seen our customers use AI agents for, and get you to feel more inspired. Next slide, please. So customers across the board have been seeing huge success with AI agents already. And today, I'll cover some top ways that they have been using Zendesk AI in their business. We'll keep our focus on four main industries today: retail, software, SaaS or technology, and financial services, and media and entertainment. Let's go to the next slide and start with retail first. So we know that a retail business involves a lot of hands-on engagement with customers. So be it from building awareness to providing strategic upsells and finally providing that post-purchase support. Hence, there is a lot of opportunity to automate interactions while maintaining that personalized touch across your entire customer journey. So for example, start proactively reaching out to your customers who are perusing your website with personalized offers to increase that conversion rate. Additionally, you can enhance your support efficiency by resolving a majority of your service requests, such as in returning an order or generating a shipping label or even executing an exchange end-to-end with an AI agent. And by providing your customers with personalized proactive service, not only will you significantly improve your satisfaction scores and customer loyalty, you'll also be able to reduce your operational costs by taking the burden off of your human agents. And then finally, to truly make sure that your AI agents feel like it is a true extension of your brand, make sure to give it a persona that aligns with your brand guidelines. I know that this is really exciting for all businesses who are looking to use AI in their operations. So let's drop in the chat some common use cases that you have implemented AI agents for in your business right now. Let's go on to the next slide, which is software. So, similar to retail, technology businesses also thrive when their customers are engaged and feeling supported in their interactions and their products fully. Hence, it's super important to provide an elevated service experience across every customer touchpoint. So you can easily launch an AI agent with generative AI and start resolving a majority of your requests with information that can be found in your knowledge base, such as login troubles, plan upgrades, and technical issues. I even read in the chat that you have a lot of password or login issues. Build a help center article and get your customers to automatically learn from AI agents how they can resolve that. And now that in itself is a real win for any business, but we can take it a step further. So you have with AI agents the opportunity to turn your cost center into a revenue generator by delivering an elevated service experience. And we have seen a lot of customers provide white glove service to high value customers by personalizing their interactions based on their configuration or usage or their conversation history with an agent. And they charge an additional fee for providing that kind of white glove service. To increase your overall service organization's efficiency, you are also able to monitor your customers' performance, and then you can proactively report bugs to reduce the amount of service requests that get you in the first place. And finally, as you gain new customers, you can virtually onboard them with guides or tutorials or relevant resources to help them get up and running very quickly. Let's move on to the next slide. So we saw a ton of banking customers on our call today, and I'm especially excited to share some ideas on how common financial service organizations can leverage AI agents for their CX strategy. And we understand how maintaining compliance and security is a top priority for any financial institution. AI agents can automate those regulatory processes for you seamlessly. So, for example, authenticate your customers by cross checking their information before you start providing support to them to make sure that sensitive information is not passed along. From here, you can offer that personalized financial advice or recommend new assets such as a new savings account or a new credit card, something like that. And this builds great trust with your customers and provides them with the ease to self serve without needing to be stuck in long wait lines. And as always, AI agents work across devices. So if you have someone on a website or a mobile app, they can easily get support anywhere that they are on their journey. Finally, let's move on to the next slide. Great. And organizations, we also see organizations within the media industry that have been seeing a lot of success with AI agents, resolving a majority of customer questions such as login issues, plan upgrades, password changes around the clock and in all regions of the world. So simply localizing your AI agents to regions and knowledge bases, and you can start resolving most of your issues end to end. And to take it a step further, you can provide personalized content recommendations. So based on your customer's watch history, you can simply connect to your backend system and allow AI agents to recommend or upsell new content recommendations. Again, for new users, you can support them with their onboarding journey by proactively guiding them through setup and profile creation. So these were just a couple of examples, but there is so much more that you can do with AI agents. And as Megan mentioned, with these new innovations and use cases, we want to inspire you to hit those 60, 70, 80% automation rates. So we are, again, very interested to learn how you have been using AI agents in your business. So feel free to drop those examples in the chat. Let's move on to the next slide and switch gears to talk about how you can get access to AI agents. So at Zendesk, our goal is to offer a complete CX solution that is ready for the AI era. And given how integral AI agents are part of starting your AI journey, At Relate, we announced that Zendesk AI agents will be available to all Zendesk customers to use within their Zendesk plans. So whether you're on a suite plan or a support plan, you can start using AI agents today. We also announced the acquisition of Ultimate at Relate. And as we continue to integrate Ultimate's capabilities into our product, access to Ultimate is available at an additional package. So if you want to explore Ultimate's capabilities for your business, I would encourage you to please work with your Zendesk account manager to see what next steps you can take. Finally, all other capabilities for admin, agent optimization, they will continue to remain a part of the advanced AI add-on. And soon we will also be launching new outcome-based pricing for AI agents based on the metric of automated resolutions. Now, this approach to pricing is a seismic shift in how AI agents are priced. And Zendesk is the leader in providing businesses true value from their AI investment. With outcome-based pricing, businesses are only charged for tangible outcomes and never for resolutions that did not lead to customer value. So we've created these flexible volume plans, along with including certain automated resolutions in all your Zendesk plans to allow you to try before you buy and only commit to what you want to use. You can easily, from there, scale your AI agents confidently and in a more future-proof way, so you know exactly how much you're going to be using. The best part is currently Zendesk AI agents are in a free trial period, so you can test and use AI agents in your CX organizations before you start committing to pricing. And to give you an overview, what is an automated resolution? How is it counted? An automated resolution is defined by a successful resolution of an issue by an AI agent without the need for human intervention. Additionally, to ensure that only tangible outcomes are counted towards your automated resolution, we apply a machine learning model that learns from your business to review each conversation for accuracy. So you never have to worry about false positives. Next slide. And finally, you can easily monitor, track, or cap your usage with our out-of-the-box reporting, which is available within your admin center. If you're already an AI agent user, you can view these metrics in your admin center today to get an estimate of your monthly consumption already. And we will continue refining these dashboards to have more specifics around channels and action performance as the months go by. So now that you've seen all of that goodness, let's take a peek into what we are working on to bring to you in the near future. We are doubling down our investment within two focus areas of AI agents, language and channel support. We know how important it is for our customers to scale their AI agents across regions. And now with custom translations, customers will be able to have more control and customize their AI agents' translations. Additionally, and this is my favorite part, we are releasing 8 new languages for our AI agents, including Nordic languages. This was a big ask from our customers, and I did see a lot of questions come in about this earlier as well. And these new capabilities will be available in your admin center in July. Next, we also know how important email is as a support channel. Again, a lot of questions about email came in. So that's why we are extending our generative AI capabilities, including generative replies and persona on email, along with giving customers the ability to connect to external data sources for generative AI. So your CSV files, any other place you have knowledge, or like your product catalogs, generative AI will be able to use and answer your customer questions from all of those sources. These capabilities will be available early next year for all AI agent users. Again, this is also a big ask from our customers, so I am super excited to be the one to share this update with you all. Can we go to the next slide? And I also did not want to leave you with no resources because I'm sure you all are super excited to get started with AI agents today. If you've already implemented them in your business, it's time to take it a step further. So we have compiled a list of resources to help you get started with AI agents easily. And with a mix of learning paths, ebooks, best practices guides, and help center articles, you should feel confident to launch an autonomous AI powered bot in minutes. And again, if you need more help, Zendesk is always there. There's also the Zendesk community and user groups, so you can always reach out to each other.
Or Ryan. So Ryan, you are on deck. And this one came from Luke. And Luke wants to know, Ryan, how does our data, our secret sauce, stay safe with AI? By the way, Luke, I love the way that you put secret sauce in there. We had to answer that question when I saw that.
Yeah, it's a great question, and a lot of customers are asking this question. So we have more information around if you Google for Zendesk AI data privacy, I'll have all the details. In short, we have a number of different controls in place to make sure that we are using customer data safely. So we have a set of custom trained models that we host inside of our infrastructure, and so customer data never leaves our infrastructure for those use cases. You can also opt out of having your data used in the training of these models, and if you do so, then you can still make use of these things. For our generative AI capabilities, like generative replies, we do use LLM vendors for that, but we have strict agreements with these vendors where they are unable to store or train on any of the data that they process through Zendesk. So it's only ever transferred and processed through those LLM vendors. And in fact, we're actually able to sign HIPAA BAAs with this vendor. So there's a lot of protections in place there. And there's more information online if you want to look deeper into it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan, for that answer. Our next question is actually going to be for Ridma. And this one comes from JP. Actually, no, apologies. This one is actually for you, Ryan, and this one comes from Felipe. I had the wrong slide up in front of me. And Felipe asks, what currently differentiates Zendesk AI or our chatbot from other providers like Intercom, Genesis, and AdaBots?
Yeah, great question. So first and foremost, the sort of depth of integration that our chatbots have or our AI agents have with your overall Zendesk platform is the sort of key thing here. So being able to respect user permissions, understanding the information that is saved on the user profile and the information you store on different organizations, being able to pass off information from the conversation into both the agent workspace or how you route those conversations once they're through omni-channel routing. So those integrations are super valuable. I think the other thing I would point out, if I think about things like Intercom, we have a more advanced API integration layer and more customization available. When I look at something like Ada, we have a simpler, easier to use conversation design, like dialogue builder experience. We also support more languages. So there's a number of different differences there, but I think for me, a lot of it comes down to how deeply integrated it is with the Zendesk ecosystem, and then a few things about being easier to use, supporting more languages. We also recently launched with our Zendesk QA tool an ability to do bot QA across all bot conversations. So I think you'll continue to see more and more innovation here as the whole Zendesk ecosystem continues to improve with AI.
Thanks, Ryan. And again, thanks, Felipe, for that great question. Our next question comes from Nate, and this one's for you, Megan. Nate wants to know, what are the best ways to build out this functionality if you don't have a bot yet? And we know quite a few people who did register for this event don't have a bot at all. And this is some pretty new territory for them.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I really hope that everything we've covered in this session can be a great framework for kind of starting from ground zero and then building up. But just to summarize all of that, and of course, this will be sent out afterwards as well. You can get started by just launching your bot in a few minutes and getting those generative responses going, setting a persona, and you automatically can answer a lot of questions in your brand's tone. So I think that that's the quickest way to get started. But then as you go on, you can add more personalization, more control for those more complex requests. You can keep analyzing and optimizing your performance and really just go up from there. But like we said, that starting point is really those generative replies. You can turn them on and start answering questions using your knowledge base right away. I'd say a few tips and tricks based on some questions that I've seen coming through in the chat I saw some questions around when to generate a reply versus when to assign an answer for an intent. And I think that kind of a great kind of way to view that is that for things that you think are really easily solved by your knowledge-based content, you have content that covers it, it can be answered pretty easily. That's where it's really helpful to just generate that reply and know that it'll pull the correct information over there. And it's those more complex or sensitive queries where you might want to take some more control there and create those conversation flows and assign that answer. So hopefully that's helpful in getting started. And again, I think that this presentation will help lay out that path forward.
Great answer, Megan. And for those who are asking about the resources from this event, including our deck, yeah, we're going to be sharing this whole deck out for you. So if you missed anything or want to reference it for anything you're going to be using after our event, don't worry, you'll be getting a copy with a recording of the whole presentation. Next question, though, is for Chad. And Chad, this question is from Chris Marr, and they ask, how do you measure success in AI agents?
Hi, perfect. I came off mute. I was busy in the chat. Thanks everyone for the Q&A. This is great. So measuring success in AI agents. So I kind of look at where you are and where you're starting from, and then kind of the approach is sort of build as you go, setting the right expectations. So I know and Megan sort of showed sort of that path to 80%. I sort of start with the reach up to 20% automation rates, just by using, and usually a good place to start is generative replies. I saw some of the questions in Q&A. Yes, that's something that you can enable in the admin UI. And so apply that, choose a couple of popular intents to use the Gen AI with, and then really, every couple of days go in and continue to automate more intents and sort of kind of, have a bit of a ongoing basis build and sort of review the conversation transcripts to see how the bot is handling. And I'm looking at both the automated resolutions to see what the bot is sort of deflecting and then what's unresolved. So we do provide that in the bot insights by every bot that you've deployed. So if you've got multiple bots by multiple brands, it's sort of, to me, the best place to go. And that's how I kind of measure success is looking in sort of those transcripts.
Thanks, Chad. And also, we have a follow-up to this question. If we can move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
And what metrics should I look at in my first month of rollout? I thought this was a great question, which is why we had to include both of the questions that Chris Marr asked.
Yeah, so there's two places you can go. You can look in the Insights dashboard by bot. You could also look and explore. I like to go into the Insights dashboard. That's going to give you the number of active users, the percent of transfers to agents, and then sort of also what the number of automated resolutions. And that the dashboard is a performance metrics. It gives you a quick glance at the AI agent's overall performance. And so that's kind of what I'd look at. And again, start with generative AI and then sort of build from there.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer. Our next question, though, is for Ryan. So you're off the hook, Chad. Ryan, Thomas wants to know, when will generative answers be available within bot flows? They would love to pre-fill ticket fields via JavaScript and hide them. Support for numeric date or checkbox fields would also be great too.
So we are looking at additional field types. I'm not exactly sure if I understand how pre-filling ticket fields in JavaScript and generative answers sort of blend together here. So we do allow for generative responses to be a step of a flow today. So that is available, but I'm a little unsure of kind of what you're aiming to do with the hide and show ticket fields. So maybe that's something we can take in either the Q&A or in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. This next question is also for you, by the way. And this one comes from Wayne. And Wayne asks, what model do you use if not in-house?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, we have a set of internally trained and hosted models, but for things like generative replies, which we've been talking about a lot, we use OpenAI GPT-4o for that. Different parts of the pipeline might use different LLM models. We also work with other LLM vendors for other features, but for generative replies in particular, GPT-4o is the highest performing, lowest cost LLM model.
Awesome. Thanks for that answer, Ryan. And our next question is for you as well. This one also comes from Felipe. Oh, no, apologies. This comes from Luke. How does our data, or no, I apologize. I'm a little mixed up on my end. This one's for Ridhima. This one comes from Paul. What is the difference between bots and AI agents? Again, apologies for that, everybody.
That's totally fine. Great question, Paul. And I know it can be very confusing because we're using the same terminology for everything. But unlike traditional bots that were basically, you had to manually build them from scratch, you had to set up every step that they were saying, they were built for deflection rather than resolution. AI agents are powered by AI, so they understand your customers. They understand free text. They go and search for answers in a lot of information, in a lot of knowledge sources to find the most accurate solution that they can resolve customer questions with. And they are built by using world-class AI. So they also find the most suitable solutions to the problem. So they don't break and they don't get stuck, but they are built to fully resolve each and every issue. And the training for AI agents is very minimal as compared to bots, where you have to manually train them to understand multiple different ways customers can ask a question. So it's much easier to get started with AI agents as compared to bots that require a lot more time and effort to build and implement on scale. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer, Ridhima. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question. And this one's going to be for Ryan. Ryan, Jason asks, how do you ensure generative bot replies work effectively?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So we have a number of different checks, I guess you would say, as part of how we generate replies. So the first is we have to have high confidence that we found an article that we think matches the query. And then from that, we actually generate a reply. And so there's also a step in the reply generation where we check the confidence of that. So in those steps, we have a very high confidence score when we return a reply to the user. That being said, there are a number of best practices for how you author articles to be the most effective for use in generative replies. And so, using the language of your customer, like how does your customer refer to the thing versus potentially internal jargon for things like that's really important. So using the same language, being able to make sure that the very, very long form articles can be difficult, where clearer question answer types of article forms work much better. So there's some things that we advise our customers on around best practices for actually creating articles, but we have as part of the pipeline confidence scoring to make sure that when we return a reply that it is highly accurate.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Let's move on to our next question. This one's for you, Zach. This came from Brandon, and Brandon asks, how can we ground AI agents in our own product knowledge? We have a lot of questions kind of based around aligning AI agents to the knowledge that customers have built out in their help centers and things like that.
Yeah, definitely happy to take this one. Can you hear me all right, Devin?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, Zach.
Perfect. Just want to check. Yeah, appreciate the question, Brandon. And really the best way to ground your AI agents on your own product knowledge is, again, you can think of like knowledge as the gas in the car that's powering the AI agent. So really the more content you have, the more refined it is, the more publicly facing pieces of content that AI agent has available to leverage in a generative reply, that's going to be the best way. You're going to be able to equip it with the different ways to deflect questions and also enable a better customer or employee experience, in that same vein. So I don't know if anyone else on the Zendesk team has something to add, but that's the best way I think I can frame this, is just having like really good content and staying on top of how relevant it is. And there's also knowledge base capabilities outside of everything that we're talking today to help you kind of keep up to date on verifying your content and ensure it's not like a legacy piece of content and those types of things.
No, Zach, that's a great answer. And we actually do have a lot of resources, I think, for making sure that your help center is up to snuff in terms of like having the content you need. And we've actually done a few events on managing a really helpful and robust help center. So we'll go ahead and share links to that in our post-event content. But great answer, Zach. Our next question, though, is for Ryan. And Ryan, this one comes from Aaron, and Aaron asks, is there anything in the works to keep it more conversational after an answer has been given? Right now, it's very answer, response, no matter what type, no matter what the customer types in. So very kind of transactional at the moment.
Yeah. So there's two things that are possible today. So with generative replies, you can configure both I think positive and negative feedback scenarios and guide the user to say a flow or other follow-up. I think in general, one of the things that we're really focused on for the next 6 months of the year is adding a more sort of like what we call small talk or chit chat to the bot, so that it can kind of manage the flow of the conversation more effectively and more naturally, which is what I think you're referring to. But I would say look right now at how you can configure positive and negative feedback flows as part of the bot as a potential stopgap. But we are continuing to look at how we make this feel more and more conversational.
Awesome, Ryan. And the next question is for you as well. This one comes from Krista, and Krista asks, will the intent library be expanded for other industries? And are there any inside of Zendesk testing environments for AI so that we can test, train AI without building this in our own, like their own production environments?
Yeah, so I'll answer the first question, which is absolutely. We are continuing to train and expand our library of out-of-the-box intents. We're also adding capabilities for customers to request intents, and we'll keep working towards more and more customizability of our intent model over time. So that's definitely in the works. As far as testing environments go, so for customers who have sandboxes, you can use AI agents and intents as part of your sandbox. I believe we also have through our solutions consulting team a set of sort of test environments that are sort of industry specific setup. So if you wanted to get access to one of those, working with your account manager on that, we could probably get you access.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question. This is going to be for you, Zach, from Haley. Haley wants to know, how do I prevent the AI from giving the wrong answer? I think this kind of is in the same vein of also maybe hallucinating a little bit as well.
Yeah, and it'll be somewhat similar to my answer, at least at its core, is again, the knowledge in your help center or your knowledge base is going to be really key in this to ensure that again, your AI agent is really only as good as the information or the knowledge base, at least from the generative aspect. There's a couple different things that you can do. You can ensure that your knowledge base is up to date with content and it's verified on a regular cadence. You can use content queues in your knowledge base to help you do that, or verification rules in your help center knowledge base to kind of help you keep on that upkeep. Excuse me. You can also focus on the first 75 words to lead to a better or more relevant article retrieval. And then there's different optimization steps that you can take in your knowledge base that we will drop from an article about making each article about a single topic rather than bulking, a ton of different topics or 2 to 3 all under one piece of content. That'll also help it provide the most relevant answer in a generative reply.
Awesome. Thanks for that answer, Zach. I believe the next one is for you as well. If we can move on to the next question. This one is from Haley. How do I get my AI agent to pre-fill the ticket form to save time for the agent and increase efficiency?
Yes. So before your AI agent does a handoff to someone on the back end in Zendesk, what you'll want to do is leverage the ask for details step within AI agent settings. And this will collect certain data points that you're hoping to leverage, whether it's the type of form, issue type, those types of things. Again, those will all be collected and then pre-filled in the form when an agent picks it up. And even prior to that, right, once the ticket is actually created, business rules can then fire on that request or that ticket. So again, using that ask for details step before the handoff is going to be key to getting that for you.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer, Zach. Let's move on to our next question, which I believe is for Ryan. Yep. Ryan, this is from Kayer, and they ask, do AI agents integrate into SAP to pull up order info?
Yeah, so we offer API integration capabilities as part of our bot flows and our bot builder. So you can integrate with any backend service that exposes an API to get the information that you need.
Perfect. Short and sweet. Okay, let's move on to our next question. I believe this one's for Ridma. And this comes from Kristen Ridma. She asks, can AI agents work with HIPAA compliant organizations? We saw probably about 5 or 6 different HIPAA questions come in as well. So this is a great one to address.
Awesome. Another great question. Thanks, Kristen. And yes, a lot of customers want to use AI agents in a HIPAA-enabled way. And this is really important for us to consider. And I think Ryan already mentioned this a little bit. But the good news is that, yes, Zendesk AI, including AI agents, are part of the Zendesk BAA and are hence enabled to work with HIPAA-compliant organizations. And to learn more about how you can do it, I will drop in an article in the chat, which you can read to understand how you can start using AI agents in a HIPAA-compliant way.
Perfect. Thanks, Ridma. All right, our next question is for Ryan, and this comes from Steven. Does the new AI agents work similarly to AI in our created knowledge base? Are tags and keywords used in the same way also?
Yeah, so it's a good question. Yes, at the end of the day, it's using a very similar capability between, say, help center search and AI agents using generative replies. There are some underlying differences which we're unifying over the next few months. So any difference that does exist today, which are minor, will be gone in the next 6 months or so. But yes, at its core, it's the same sort of technical concept.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question. And this one is for you, Chad. It comes from Stacy. What are the best KPIs to look at when determining success with AI agents?
So key performance indicators, I still kind of like the notion of self-service, but I also, CSAT and other metrics are still really important as far as sort of how your customers are reacting. I know in the Q&A, I answered a question about, we've got a personal business. We want to make sure that, we implement this right. Our customers like speaking to agents. One thing that I think Ryan kind of mentioned, and I'll maybe highlight is again, we announced the release of our AI agent QA, so sort of bot QA, where you essentially can leverage that product to enhance the chatbot quality assurance and basically audit all the conversations. So again, from key performance, that might be another way to sort of measure the success of how your AI agent and things you aren't catching can work. So I'll give that a little plug. I went a little bit rogue on that one.
No problem, Chad, and thanks for that answer. Let's move on to our next question. And this one's for you, Zach, from Stacy. How do you make it brand specific when the intent is relating? It's for the intents when the intents it's relating to are incorrect for your instance. I was very incorrect for reading that one, so I guess Luke, you get a T-shirt for that.
Thanks, Stacy. Appreciate the question. As of right now, so when an intent model is applied to your Zendesk environment, it is account wide. So currently as it stands, that's how we'll operate today. We have heard feedback from customers who are using or wanting to use intents in a multitude of different areas of the account where it's more relevant for one team and maybe a little less for the next. So we are looking into that. So again, as it stands right now, it will be account wide.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer, Zach. And I know we are approaching time, so we are going to stop at 12:15, which we are slated to stop, just so we can respect people's time. We'll try to get us to as many questions as possible in that short time. So let's move on to our next question, which is going to be for Ridhima. This comes from Terry. And Terry asks, are AI agents useful if you aren't using the messaging option in support?
Great question, Terry, and thank you so much for sending it. AI agents do bring out the best version of them is the one that's available on messaging so that you can use them on your web, your mobile, your social, anywhere. But I understand that some customers don't want to use that, but we have a capability called auto replies with AI powered intents, language, and sentiments. And you can use that to reply to your customers on email channels as well. If you don't want to use messaging. And then, as I mentioned in the roadmap, we will also soon be launching a generative capabilities over email. So stay tuned for that. Once that is available, you can automate your email responses. But I would highly encourage you to use messaging in your support operations to get the best of AI agents and reach those high automation numbers.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer, Ridhima. Our next question is for Zach. This comes from Tatiana. Zach, what AI agent implementation advice do you have for companies that rely heavily on email communication, especially when agents and customers are not accustomed to using messaging to resolve their inquiries?
Yep, great question. I appreciate that, Tatiana. There's a couple different recommendations I would make. So first and foremost, it would be to implement the messaging widget in locations that would get the most traffic. I understand the team relies heavily on email and folks maybe aren't used to it. But again, just at least putting that forward facing in as many areas that, again, we'll get that, again, traffic or where they typically sit, whether it's on your website, an internal portal, maybe that you provide to them through your business, a mobile app, right? There's bunch of different locations that you can use to get in front of your customers and embed self-service wherever they already exist. And we are moving towards adding some of this, like the generative pieces to email as well. So those things are to come. Like Zendesk is already working on those things and we're already trying to push that to market. So that's what I'd recommend in the interim. And then that's what you can look forward to.
Awesome, Zach. Thanks for that question. Let's move on to our next one so we can get to as many as possible. This one's for you, Ridhima. This comes from Jamie. What is included in the Zendesk Enterprise and what's the additional cost?
Again, great question. Thank you so much. As I mentioned earlier, AI agents are available for all plans, including enterprise, whether on suite or support. So you can start using them right now. What is available at an additional cost are capabilities that are Ultimate's capabilities. So if that's something you're interested in, speak with your account manager. Additionally, the admin and agent capabilities. So everything from intelligent triage, summarize, tone shift, all of that is at an add-on. So you will need the advanced AI add-on to use those capabilities.
Thanks, Ridhima, for that answer. Let's move on to our next question. This one is for Chad. This comes from William. Conversations just with bots are only historically available for 7 days. Is there any way to export or store this data? We would want it for quality assurance of the bot to make sure it's giving the right info to the customer.
Yeah, so I'd say there's kind of a couple paths that you can take. The one would be leveraging what's inside Zendesk today. So that is limited to sort of the bot insights is sort of a 7-day view as you identify. As I talked about, sort of if you wanted to do an analysis through the bot QA, another way could be that you could export the conversations or leverage the Sunshine Conversations API and add a webhook and route all those conversations to an endpoint that you could audit later on. So there are a number of ways that you can perform that audit. on your native AI agents conversations.
Awesome, Chad. Thanks for that answer. I think we're going to have time for one more question. So this one's going to be for you, Zach. And this comes from Holly. Is there an obvious sign for end users that they are speaking to an AI agent? And can they easily choose to speak with a human agent if they prefer?
Yes, great question, Holly. And hopefully we saw this in the demo earlier with some of the key indicators throughout the messaging widget and throughout that conversation. So is there an obvious sign for end users that they're speaking to an AI agent? Yes, it's going to say generated via AI after every blurb of text or every response that the AI agent makes. So they will see that every single time. And again, at the top of the demonstration, remember when we saw that talk to a human option, right? That's an option that you can offer and make it extremely visible. Or you can set up the AI agent to understand the intent of what a customer is hoping to accomplish. So again, if they simply type in, connect me to a human, speak with a live rep, transfer me, right? It's equipped to understand all those different phrases to say, yes, no worries, let me get you in contact with someone from our team. So there's definitely a solution for each of those.
Awesome, Zach. Thanks for that answer. We have time for one more question because we are hitting the top of the hour and 15. This is for Ryan. This comes from Herman. And Herman asks, are there AI agents designed for specific industries, or do the AI agents learn as they are utilized?
Yeah, so we've mentioned this a little bit. So we have, as part of Zendesk, industry intent models. And so these are tailored to specific industries and for the most common issues and use cases within those industries. The classic example being retail, like canceling an order or asking for a refund. This allows you to skip any need to train a chatbot to understand what it looks like for a customer to ask for how to cancel their order, for example. So those are available, and those are assigned out to customers based on the information in their tickets, and you can start using those your AI agents. Just really quickly, we've had a few questions about learning. In general, the learning of LLMs and machine learning capabilities, I think, there's a lot of misinformation out there in the market. So it may not learning may not happen the way you think about it or the way you think about how humans learn. And so learning is not, we could get into like hours discussion of this, but in general, we are looking at a ton of information and evaluating how we can use various different machine learning techniques to deliver great experiences.